Hello. This is for Patreons, but it's for whoever's watching it as well after the event. So the patrons get these meditations first, okay, and the classes first for the first month. So this is for you guys. So this is for May 2025, but it is not time sensitive. It is for whoever watches this, okay? It's for you guys. So what I wanted to do is pendulums and more today. So I don't know if any of you guys have got a pendulum, but you can use anything for a pendulum. They've been using pendulums for years and years and years. So the gypsies used to use them when they were doing their fortune telling, in their caravans, and they used to do all of that. But also, it used to be kind of, just the families, Victorian times. They didn't have, you know, these, machines to tell you what sex you're having, what baby you're having. They can't do that. So they used to rely on this sort of thing. So they used to use a needle and cotton, or used to use a wedding ring, okay, on a shoestring, used to do all of that, shoelace. So yeah, these have been going around a long time, a very, very long time. And so I thought I'd start off with the pendulum. Okay. Now, my way of teaching is always going to be simplified because that's how I roll. Okay. So I'm just going to take a slip of coffee. Okay. So I simplify everything. Okay. That's just my teaching skills. That's what I do. Okay. So my way might not be the way that you do it, or may not be the way that other people do it. But I have had success throughout the years with this way. All right. So my pendulum. So I bought this pendulum. I think it was on Amazon. I think it was about $8.99. So it's quite cheap. Okay. Just it's an amethyst. Doesn't look amethyst from there, but it is an amethyst. So it's amethyst, and there was a chain with it, and the chain it got tarnished, the chain. So what I did is I made something. I just made some beads, okay. And I do sell pendulums if anybody would like one. I sell them for about £10 each, and they come with a point, and they come with the chain as well. Um, so anyway, the pendulum, okay, how does a pendulum work? Is it possible that something that's hanging and dangling on a piece of thread can tell you anything? Well, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I always thought, how would tarot cards work? Um, Quite frankly, it's like 78 cards going to tell you your fortune, okay, tell you your future. But I was amazed. That was the start of my journey. So, I saw I was, this person was learning herself. I didn't know this person. This person was introduced me by an ex-boyfriend actually, and this lady gave me this workbook because I fell in love with it. And so it was a printed out, and I've still got it in a folder, blue folder, and it had all these worksheets in it, all done by like the word processors. Remember the word processors are typed, and used to use a little bit Tipex, sheets if you made a mistake. So yeah, it was back then, and I was given a pack of tarot cards, and it basically told me word for word what was going on in my life at that time, which was not a normal thing. It was complex, and yet they told me everything. So from that day on, I knew that there are, tools in psychic development do help, and they do work. And you don't really have to believe in them. It does help because the link, as long as the link is open and someone's open-minded enough to give it a go, yeah. If you're going to block it, you're going to block anything, aren't you? But yeah, you don't actually need them to be highly intuitive, okay? But anyway, so I've made a connection with my pendulum. Now, I used to have a shop. I used to have a shop in Herne Bay called the Guiding Angel Shop, and it's been pinpointed lots of different areas of Herne Bay. I've had about 4 or 5 different shops at points, and so I used to sell these. And there was one pendulum I absolutely loved, and I thought, oh, how beautiful is that? And when I used it, it just didn't seem to connect. It was like I was just not getting the same answer in my heart as I was with the pendulum. And at one point, I just got so fed up. I said, are you going to tell me the truth? And it said, no. I went, oh, are you ever going to tell me the truth? It said, no. I thought, oh, right, okay. And then I said, try that. So I gave the pendulum to someone else when I was teaching, and it worked perfectly for them. No problem. I said, this has to be yours. And I gifted it to somebody else because this pendulum and you have to connect. Okay, so I listen to it. If it says it's not going to tell you the truth, then it won't. All right, so you know they have energy. Okay, so anyway, I fell in love with mine, and it works really well for me. This worked really well for other people who've borrowed it and used it as well. I'm not one of these people who says, you know, if you've got a pack of tarot cards, no one else can touch them or use them. No one else can use your pendulum. You know, as soon as you get it back in your hand, it's cleansed. As far as I'm concerned, it's cleansed. It's all fine. All right, and that's it. Okay, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to believe. And the belief is the energy. All right, so but if you believe, you have to cleanse it and you have to do all these little rituals in order for it to be back into your energy, then that is how it will be as well. Okay, so yeah, because I believe in simplicity, remember, it's like my energy is enough. Okay, so now some people, when they get a pendulum, they are going to ask the pendulum what is the yes and what is the no. Okay, I don't. I do it differently. I say, I'm going to tell my pendulum what my yes is and what my no is. And that's how I've always rolled. But it's up to you, entirely up to you. So anyway, let's have a go. Let's have a go. So I'm going to bring the camera down, excuse my cleavage and all of that. Now, this is going to be a bit tricky because obviously I want you to see that I'm not moving it. But we'll see if I hit my elbow earlier. So we're going to see if you can see this. So you try your absolute utmost not to move it. Okay, it's very difficult though. You know, it's not, you know, we are not machines. All right, so we do our best, but I mean there is an obvious, you know, when someone's really obviously moving it, then I'm not so sure. Still then, okay, there is such a thing as a human pendulum, becoming a human pendulum, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, but anyway, so you hold your pendulum. First of all, you basically hold it in your hands and you bless the energy of that pendulum and you appreciate it. And you basically, it's like I'm making this mine. Okay, so that's it. So some people might say it'd be a good idea to sleep with it under your pillow. I think it's a very good idea. Okay, you know, just hold it. And so the energy is yours. Okay, so you've got to have something where you're putting your arm and your elbow on something. Okay, that's important. All right, if you just hold it out like that, I could move my body as well to try and move this pendulum. But no, I'm going to put my arm on the table. I'm then going to just, usually you have like a ball or something, okay, that you can hold this. So you're holding this so I'm not obstructing that string from moving any which way it wants to. Okay, so, and I'm just going to dangle it there. Okay, for now. Oh, I don't want to see my cleavage. There we go. The thing is, when you're teaching from home, you don't wear bras and things like that, do you? Because you want to be comfortable. But anyway, ignore you saw that. Ignore. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to deliberately, so this is me programming my pendulum. Let me move this back. I'm going to move this back just like that. And I'm going to just move it up a little bit. So there. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, a few deep breaths. Breathe out. And just, it's like this, I'm centering myself. I'm also asking for the highest and best energies. Okay. I ask for the angels because I work very well with the angels. My spirit guide is my dad. So I ask for my dad as well. Okay. So I'm going to deliberately, I'm going to program this. I'm going to swing it deliberately in a circle. And I'm going to say, this is yes. Okay. And then I'm going to hold it and I'm going to do it back and forth. I'm going to say, this is no. Okay. I mean, this is no too. It's no too. And stand still like that means don't know. Because we're not supposed to know everything, are we? Okay. So once you've ignored that alarm going off, I don't know what it is. It's been doing it for a while. Okay. So I'm going to ask my spirit guides to try and watch my hand and try and make sure I'm not moving. Okay. I'm definitely not going to try. I'm going to try my best. Okay, so can you show me yes? And just give it some patience. Can you show me yes? Okay. All right. Can you show me a bigger yes? Oh, wonderful. Okay. The more excited you get, the more excited your guides get. Can you make it bigger? Really big now, please. Really, really big. Well done. Thank you. I moved it just then, but well done. Well done. And now it's anticipating that I'm going to say, tell me no. Look, it's already doing it. Show me no. It already read my mind before I was saying it. Let's see if it reads my mind again. In my mind, I've just said, can you show me yes? Can you show me yes? Thank you. Right, just so I know, can you do it the other way around as well? That's clockwise. Can you show me anti-clockwise, please? It's just slowing itself down and then trying the different way. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really big, please. Really, really big, please. That is lovely. Thank you. Thank you. And stop. Okay. So that's programmed. All right. So now what I do is I ask something that I know the answer to. So I know, and I do know, am I a female? Am I a female? Big, please. Thank you so much. Am I, do I like dark chocolate? No, it's true. I don't like dark chocolate unless it's got a minty flavor to it. Do I like honey? The answer is no, I don't like honey. Do I have 5 children? No, I don't have 5 children. Do I have 2 daughters? There we go. It's a yes. So You ask questions that you know the answers to, okay? And then you know, and you need to do this before you do any work with your pendulum. You don't need to ask the question so much, as long as you say, can you show me yes? Can you show me no? And then tell it, well, first of all, show it what you want your yes is and what you want your no. Now, some people, and you might prefer this, is just when you get your pendulum, you can say, what is your yes? And the pendulum will tell you what is your yes. Okay. But for me, it's like back and forth is like no, and circle is a yes. Okay, that's how it's again simplifying. Okay, so this is where I go blank when I think to myself, what do I want to ask? Okay. Oh, what do I ask now? Wasn't anticipating this. What do I ask? Well, my granddaughter Hallie is in the hospital. I'm going to ask, will she come out of the hospital today? Okay, they were trying to get her out yesterday, but okay. Will Hallie come home from hospital today? Okay, that was indicating yes. Can you do it again? Is that yes? I'm not keeping it as still as I want to. Okay, can you show me yes? Ah, no, it's changed. Okay. So now that is where it can't make up its mind. So that can mean that the universe isn't sure yet. Okay, that there is two timelines to that decision. And that is simply because as Hallie's in hospital, and we've got to obviously watch her, she's on antibiotics, she's had sepsis again, bless her. So because she's in hospital, they were about to say that she could go home without being discharged and come back and get the next lot of antibiotics once a day at 7 o'clock in the evening. And she was just about to pack up and go because I was at the hospital yesterday. And they found out that her sister had been vomiting and wasn't well. So Hallie couldn't get home. Wasn't a good idea. So that's why that is an unsure message, isn't it? It's an unsure. You see, can you see? So you have to think about what question you want to ask. I will highly call against you asking. In fact, I'd say, please don't ask about serious illness or death or anything like that, because what you're doing is tempting a dark energy to come forward, because it's a low. Think about frequencies. High frequencies is plonky plonk questions, okay? About your life, about what's going on, will he come back to me? Is this, stuff like that, okay? Low level ones are about serious illness and death and this. Yeah, it's not good. This is why I don't like Ouija boards either, okay? But pendulums, you can use these in a very light-hearted way, okay? And they're pretty good, all right, for that. Okay. Now, are they asking your spirit guides, the angels? In my opinion, might not be all the time, but my opinion is I feel that the pendulum is contacting your higher self, and your higher self knows more than you do. And so it is wiser than you, but it isn't set in stone. Okay. It isn't as clued in. That's just my opinion. Okay, so to do with the pendulums, but just with everything, I mean, tarot cards, how connected are they? I've connected them to the highest purpose. Can you do the same with your pendulum? I'm flexible on that. I would say yes, you can. So, I think how much do you work with something and how much energy is going to go into that? And the more you believe in something, the stronger it gets. Okay, I believe in that as well. So it's a form, it's a tool, and it's a form of communication, and it's really good. I've used dice before. I'm going to do a lesson on dice. dice. I'm going to do that. Okay. One of the other lessons I did was on major arcana cards, and I have them here. And these are really good. So if you have, watched the other videos, okay, the major arcana cards, so you can shuffle. These are 22 cards that have been taken from the whole deck. Okay, so they're separate, but you can do readings on this. So I can say, what is the energy? What's the energy at the moment for myself, Ali? What's the energy like in my life? Oh, look at that. See, one turned over. So we're going to keep that out, okay? All right, so if one turns over, okay, this is quite apt. Okay, so the one that turned over was the emperor. Okay, so this can be somebody in authority. It can be father figure, fatherly character, or someone in authority. We then have the tower. Okay, so you think, oh no, the tower's a bad card. It isn't necessarily. Isn't a bad card. Okay, so I have been told by my spirit guides, I've been told by myself that my chi energy in this home is bad at the moment. It needs a clear out and I need to get rid of it. And I also want to change the back drop to my readings as well. So I want to change all that around. So that's why I'm seeing the tower chaotic, because something sits there. And I've been around doctors. I've been around people who make big decisions. Okay, so again, that's to do with Hallie. Okay, and chaos. Well, chaos comes with anyone who's in hospital or anything that's going on. I just did my blood pressure. My grandson popped over, and we both did our blood pressures. His is perfect, of course. He's fit and healthy, isn't he? A 17-year-old boy, and I'm like, so mine wasn't great, but it is getting better because I'm on blood pressure tablets. So so this is why I got these two. Okay, so try with the two cards. Two cards tell you, give you a nice balance, okay, of information. But with the major arcana cards, pick some for the day. It's like if you've got somebody that you want to find out about. Well, let's see. I'm going to think about Greg. Okay, what's Greg's energy at the moment? Let's have a look. Greg's energy, the first one out is star. I understand why he's got the star. And the second one out is the high priestess. High priestess can be secretive. It can be holding information away, okay, or getting information but not giving it out to anybody. And you've also got the star, which is to do with wishes and dreams. I know exactly what these two cards mean and why Greg got these. He's in, you haven't seen him much online because he's taken some time out. He's just trying to balance himself. It is all about, keeping, he's keeping things to himself at the moment, and he will reveal everything when he feels that like he wants to. And so that's why we got the secretive card. And he is on a dream. Okay, he wants to move. Okay, so we got the move. Okay, so I'm surprised we didn't get a move it card, but it is a wish. It's his wish to move, and so that's why he would got that. Okay, so let's do one more. There you go, psychic ability. So he's moon card means that he's the good and the bad. You're having to balance out the good with the bad. Okay, and so he's going through something that is low frequency and is stressful, which is affecting him, but there might be a good outcome come from it. Okay, so you can see they work. Okay, so you can, if you've only learned the major arcana, or you only got time to learn the major arcana in tarot, you haven't got time to learn all 78, learn the 22. Okay, just the major arcana cards, and you can still do yourself little readings. And there's a sun card on the back, which is one of the best cards, the sun in the world, and that means everything turning out better than you thought. Just quickly, I don't do reverse readings, and I'll tell you why. So say when I have my shop, somebody popped in and they said, can I have a read? And I say, yeah, of course. So I shuffle the cards. I used to let other people shuffle them, but I shuffle the cards and I would then give them to somebody to shuffle, and they would shuffle them, okay? And they might be really crap at shuffling. They all fly over the floor. So we pick them up again and we put them in the hand, and then we shuffle again, okay? And you know, they do a reading, and it's probably very mixed up, okay, disjointed because they've flown all over the floor, okay? So you can have, you know, reverse readings. You can have a negative to a positive and a positive to a negative, you know, chaotic. And then someone else might come in for a reading. They've got that person's disjointed upside down cards. So I turn all of them upright, okay? Even if they're not, if they're upside down, I will turn them the right way up, because you can tell by whatever is around those cards, whether it's a positive or a negative. You can tell by those. You don't need the reverse. And nobody turns one card over with the reverse. You know, it just doesn't really happen. So anyway, that's just me. So you could take that information or you can go with your own. It doesn't matter. But thank you again for listening to this. Thank you again for being a Patreon, if you're watching this, you know, through Patreon. And you know, it all means a lot to me. So, you know, just keep doing what you do in life, and keep spreading that joy and happiness wherever you go, because you're going to get it back tenfold. Whatever you give out, you give back, you get back. Okay. So if you could do a kind deed for somebody, that person might not necessarily appreciate it or show you anything back, but somebody else along the line will. Okay, so that's how it goes. It's like it comes back to you. So anyway, lots of love and take care. Bye for now.